Okay, after we explained the vocab words that it's related to this unit on pages 132 and 133, I want from you please to go back to page 130 and we have to read now the article that we have. Of course, its title is the Winter Olympics. From the title, it can help us to understand a little bit our article is about what. When I say the Winter Olympics, it means we're talking about sports or games that it's related to winter. So we have a special season here that it is winter. So of course, whenever we have such sports or games in winter or competitions, it needs snow or ice. So let's start reading it. I want from you please to concentrate and listen carefully. Let's start. Every 4 years, countries from all over the world compete in the Winter Olympics. This competition is all about snow and ice. Opponents race and jump on skis. They fly 90 miles an hour down a track on bobsleds. Snowboarders jump and twist on courses of packed snow. Figure skaters make fantastic jumps and create beautiful arches in their backs as they twirl on the ice. So these are kinds of games or sports that they do it in winter. Athletes go to the games with great hopes. Of course, the people who want to compete, they go there and they have a goal or an aim in their minds that they want to be the champions or the winners. All yearn to become champions. Some come back home with medals, others don't win anything. All come back with one thing in common: they have had the experience of being an Olympic athlete. A brief history of the Olympic Games. In this part of the text, it will tell us about the history of the Olympic Games and how did it change during the years. The first Olympic Games took place about 3,000 years ago in ancient Greece. So the first Olympic Games, it was in Greece and it was from 3,000 years ago. The earliest competition was a modest event. It means it was a simple competition. The racers ran a short distance on foot, only 210 yards. Later, more races were added. Events in wrestling, jumping, and throwing were also added. It means they had new kinds of games. It wasn't only racing. Then the Romans conquered Greece and the Olympic Games eventually disappeared. In 1896, the first modern Olympics were held. Of course, in this year, the Olympic Games started to be more modern and they started to add technology to these things. But it happened in this year in summer. But they were talking about a winter event, so they changed it, and instead of being in summer, they did it in winter. So in 1896, the first modern Olympics were held. The first games were the summer games, but people were already talking about a winter event. In 1924, the first winter games were held. Before I continue reading, I want from you to have a look on the picture that we have it down on page 130. It shows us a flag. This is the Olympic flag, and as you can see that we have 5 circles, they are all connected to each other. So these 5 circles, they represent the 5 continents of the world. Because when we talk about the Winter Olympics, we said from the beginning that countries from all over the world, they compete in this winter. So of course it represents the whole continents, and they are all compete in this Olympics. Let's continue.